the person who sold Nicki's nail on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Nicki, I don't think we talked about this too, but Nicki got a VMA, the Vanguard Award. I think it's named after Michael Jackson. So, I think it's well deserved. She does have like a lot of good videos and iconic videos. So.
And while we're on that point, just real quick, not to interrupt her praise, I think that they need to give out. There's so many people, so many pioneers, legends that need to get these awards. Like
while they're alive,
and I don't understand why they don't do these things.
Yeah, because you could give some of these people these awards only 10, 15 years, and it doesn't even have to be a super. Like you don't have to be like been alive for that long.
They act like people gotta be damn near dead to give them an award.
That's why I'm glad that Nicki got one at like 39, 40, because it's like. Good. Like she should be getting that like 10, 15 years into her career. Like that's makes sense. You shouldn't be 60 years old, 70 years old with a king, getting an award like for being a vanguard.
For something like, you did like mad long
ago. Like stupid. But yeah, so her nail fell off. Like and somebody, they say you're not allowed to have your phone, so they didn't really have proof right away, but they saw they zoomed in on her nail. Her nail was missing. Somebody in the crowd got her nail. Sold at a listing price for $14,000 on eBay. Sold for $55,100. So I was just brought that up because we already talked about it a little bit off camera, but I only brought it up because I was reading the comments and a lot of people were saying like how smart it was. Like, oh, that's lit. Like that's low key come up. And other people were like, people are crazy. Like buying this for a nail. Like you love Nicki that much, and it's like nah, it's deeper than that. And like we've been talking about the business a lot on this episode. You made me realize, I'm like, yeah, it is deeper than that. It's not just the nail that so a super fan is probably hiding in a box. It's a smart business move. Like, people love museums. You guys go to museums all the time. You could see clothes that Beyonce wore for, certain performances. You could see Michael Jackson stuff. I think we've seen museums where his stuff was there, like his outfits. Like, and you've been to a lot of museums. Like, you travel all around this country.
Listen.
You've been on the freaking bus and sat in the seat that Rosa Parks sat in. Like, these things are worth money. Like, it's deeper than somebody just a super fan and obsessed with the nail. Like, that nail could literally be in a museum 50 years from now, 100 years from now, being this is Nicki's nail that she wore when she won the Vanguard Award. Like, that's a big deal. This is how nails looked in 2022, like, from a female rapper. Like,
when I was in St. Louis, I went to a jazz museum and they had tons of stuff in there. Outfits from from legends just sitting there. And this is one of those things, like, it may seem crazy, but from a business perspective, it's smart because people do care about these things. People care about collectibles and memorabilia. And while it seems like a high number for people that don't really have a ton of money, and that's no disrespect, it's just what it is. Like, some people
would be like 55. Oh, you're crazy. I'm like, 55,000 is like less than 1% of money for a lot of people.
You saw what I just showed you. Like, the managing partners at this company make $22 million a year.
Yeah. So also, we were just talking about off camera the NBA fines. People be paying that in fines.
Yeah.
50,000 is nothing for a lot of people.
For cursing at a ref, people get charged.
We make more than $50,000 a year, a lot more. So it's nothing. I mean, it's not nothing for us. I wouldn't say it's nothing because if I had 50,000 right now, like,
you buying Nicki's nail?
I'll be lit. I'm not buying Nicki's nail, but it's like that's still not even how much we make. So I hate when people be like, "Oh, 50,000, that's dumb." I'm like, "How's that dumb? That's like less than 1% of money for a lot of people." So
it's nothing for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot for you, but top being so the world revolves around you. No, a lot of people got money, and it's nothing for them. And who knows? That could be multiple people that brought that nails together. 10,000 each. That could be 5 people that paid $10K each.
It could have been a company. Like I said before, these companies we're watching the U.S. Open. Each seat in certain sections at $10,000 a piece. And the companies own the seats. And the companies bought all of them.
Yep.
So they all sold out. These companies make. What does LeBron make a second?
How would you get that number? His year?
Because somebody calculated it.
Oh, yeah. You would take his yearly income, right? Divided by days, hours, seconds.
LeBron makes $188 a second, $11,299 per minute. So he can make
55,000. That's 5 minutes for LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron just has to go on the court for 5 minutes, and he might not even score.
He might be on the bench those 5 minutes.
Per game is 542,000. So the world does. There's a whole other section of the world that does exist.
Oh my Lord! I just realized that. Oh.
Now, $500,000. It's crazy. He makes a house.
That just made me sad.
Well, that's several houses.
Oh my God, Alex.
But anyway, from a business perspective,
that's like life-changing money. a lot of people.
If you have certain memorabilia, it means something, and it means something to a lot of people. Like if they put that nail in Madame Tussauds or something like that, like that's the type of stuff where you can continue to make money off of an investment.
Like you've been to museums where like you said, Madame Tussauds, they might have replicas of the nails, but then the one that fell off, like this is the actual nail.
Yeah,
people are gonna want to come see that. Like,
and for people that don't know the business of museums, basically the way it works is it's kind of, and I'll try not to overly complicate it. It's kind of like a tax haven. So if you have a museum, you get certain type of deductions and tax benefits if you own one. So that's why if you see a lot of wealthy people, they're the board members of museums. That's why, because you could get tax write-offs and benefits for that reason. And also they're a moneymaker, obviously, because they get, grants and things from the city, and they also get massive donations. So when you have an event like the Met, it brings in a ton of money, and museums are kind of like a business in that sense. And then they use some of that money to do things like pay people for the art. So the art that's in a museum is changing constantly because the museum typically does not own the art or the exhibition that you see. They're renting it, and that's why exhibitions change all the time.
And if you're the owner of that nail and you're renting that out and you're highly desirable, like, oh, we need that nail in our museum, you could charge whatever you want. If that company's desperate, they're going to pay.
Yeah, like,
ooh, my bad.
If they have like a hip hop museum, if they have certain things, a company will pay the money for it.
And who knows what the future of that's going to hold. Like, people don't realize hip hop and rap is a very young genre. Like, this stuff was made after our parents were born. Like, my mom was literally in Brooklyn when this was all popping off in the Bronx. Like, she was there. And it's like, so this is a young genre. Like, who knows what the future holds when it comes to like museums and things, that's gonna happen with like hip hop museums and stuff, rap museums. And Nicki's like, at this point, like, I would say the greatest female rapper. And some people could say the greatest rapper because like it's deeper than like her skill. It's like just everything she's been able to do. The longest standing career, relevancy, like, so it's a lot deeper than like, and people like to have that argument, who's the best female rapper. But for me, I consider her the best just for everything that she's done, like, so somebody that notable, that nail is gonna be that person's gonna make a lot of money off that nail if that's what they're doing. We don't know who it is, but if that's what they plan on doing with it,
or they're just a collector, just in the same way why, like, you can say it's stupid to collect art. Like, okay, it's dumb to you.
Yeah,
we don't know why art has the value it has, but somebody values it that way.
Yeah, and I hate when people say stuff like that. Like, it's dumb to you, but you spent that same amount of money probably over the years on going to clubs and bottles in the club. Like, everybody has what they love. You like drinking and killing yourself and destroying your liver. They like collecting art. I had to say that, but I did. So yeah, they could just be collecting. And like you said, some people have huge collections. Like we see
of random stuff, guitars, cars.
Who's that guy who created Vape?
Nego.
We saw his video.
He has tons of random things. A
museum literally in his house. That Helmut Lang guy, that what's his name? That unknown vlogs, just went to his house. And what were they, in Berlin? They were in Germany, I think. Somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
I think it was Berlin. But yeah, he has. We don't know what he's gonna do with that Helmut Lang. He just might be a collector. He might just love the fashion, and he has a whole museum. Like, people just have their passions, and it's at the end of the day, it's not dumb. Like, so people in the comments saying, "Oh, people are crazy for buying that for a nail." Like,
okay,
think deeper. Like, you guys think so surface level, and it's like, it's crazy. Like, they got, like, people just are so ignorant. Because think it's funny because they got 20,000 people liking that comment. Like, you guys are all dumb, all 20,000 of you.
Because the funny thing about that is that people say it's dumb, but like the person has the 50,000 to pay for it.
Exactly. And people say it's dumb, but what are black? And I know we're black, but sometimes we do play damsel in distress. What black people gonna say 50 years from now? The white man. And like, yes, the white man. I agree. Like, I want my reparations, but also it's like, you clown the man who did that, who might become a multimillionaire one day off of that investment.
Off of that nail.
Like, but you was clowning it. Like, these are the things that the white man are doing. They making these smart investments, but all you guys are clowning them, not thinking deeper. That's why we're gonna be stuck forever if you're not thinking like that. So keep saying the white man, dumb decision, dumb. I want my money now. Life's short. Yeah, keep having that mentality. That's why we not making no steps forward, and it's frustrating. Even my parents have pissed me off with this house situation. Like, even my dad was saying that, like, that's an asset. And, like, what they're going through and stuff is like, you got the house is halfway paid off, like 15 more years. Like, we need the generational wealth. Like, Black people don't know really how to make smart decisions and whatever sometimes. And I hate generalizing ourselves, but you see it. Like, you see it. There's too many examples for me to feel like it's not facts at some point.
Oh, no, it's definitely facts.
It's too many examples.
For sure.
Not even a stereotype anymore.
I don't see many of us in the... You know what the unfortunate part of it, too? Is that even if I finish that sentence, it'll always come back to being, trying to appease. People would try to say you're trying to appease.
Yeah, you guys are white men or white sympathizers. No. I just want better for our people. Sometimes you need tough love. Sometimes you need to hear it the harsh way. Like, I agree. We definitely are behind because of slavery. We definitely have a disadvantage. But I also feel like there's only so many excuses you can make to when we have to, like, you can't forever just be crying. Like, sometimes what I love about our ethnic group is that we're so resilient. The best slap in the face would be to make it up to that point one day and just do so great, even despite being held back for so long. That's what I will, get the reparations out the way so we can stop having that cry, I guess. Give the reparations out. Whatever Black people decide to do with that, let them do with it. Because some people, their argument is, Black people don't have financial literacy, so they'll run through that. If they run through it, they run through it. Whatever. They can't make excuses anymore. They got the money. But a lot of us won't be running through it. A lot of us will make smart decisions and make changes. So, like I said, I understand racism, slavery, all that for Black Americans. I only sympathize with our ethnic group because we're the ones who actually dealt with it. Our ancestors are the ones who actually dealt with it. They didn't have the advantage to go move somewhere else. So I'm talking about our ethnic group. They're the ones who usually make those complaints. But a lot of other people make those complaints. I'm like, why are you complaining? Because racism didn't affect you in the U.S., but I digress. Well, I mean, it might have, but not to the extent it affected us. But I don't want to get into diaspora wars. But, yeah. I think we could get our reparations. And,
Jesus Christ.
If we could get them, that would be nice.
We're talking about Nicki Minaj's nail.
I know. I'm just talking about this because...
No.
I'm saying a lot of Black people get mad when Black people like us criticize each other about, like... because somebody had made that statement earlier. It was like, on Twitter, they said something about, like, because they were kind of tired of it too, like, and them making excuses. But then here comes everybody in the comments like, you're dumb. These are valid reasons why we're behind. I'm like, yes, they are valid reasons. They are, but a lot of people definitely don't do the things they're supposed to be doing to try to. Because what if we never get reparations? You just gonna cry forever?
Mm-hmm.
They are. Some of them are. I'm not. I want my reparations, but I'm gonna keep doing whatever I can to make a well life for myself and our kids.
So shout out to whoever brought Nicki Minaj's nail.
Yeah. Hopefully they do. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it. We might see it in the museum one day and we come back to this podcast and be like, oh, look what we said when we was 25. And now we're 80 and we see Nicki's nail in the museum that we talked about. We lit.